You're watching Mirror Live. Let's begin the broadcast with some breaking news coming in from the Supreme Court. And this is with respect to the hijab hearing that is currently underway in the top court. The Supreme Court has observed that one particular community is insisting on wearing something, and it adds that all other communities are following a dress code. The Apex Court has also observed that no other country has diversity like India. Remember, this hearing is a part of a batch of petitions that have been challenging the Karnataka High Court's judgment. Remember that upheld the ban on wearing hijab by Muslim girl students in schools and colleges. Harish joins us live on the broadcast for more. Harish, quite strong observations made by the Supreme Court there. Take us through what the court is saying.
Yes, so that's right. Several strong observations came in from the bench led by Justice Hemant Gupta, which was hearing around 23 petitions which had in fact challenged the Karnataka High Court, which had upheld the hijab ban imposed by the government on education institutions. And this particular remark that the problem is that only one particular community is insisting on wearing a religious dress, and all other communities are adhering to the common uniform dress code. This came when Devdutt Kamath, who had a senior advocate who had appeared for one of the petitioners, said that hijab was a symbol of modesty, faith, right to religion, and was an essential religious practice of the Muslim community, and was intrinsic and integral to Islam. It was at this moment that Justice Hemant Gupta observed that the problem herein was that it is a particular community which is insisting on wearing that particular religious dress, but all other communities are in fact ready to adhere to the particular dress code. So there were several other arguments, and even at a juncture when Devdutt Kamath began citing judgment from foreign countries, including the US and France and South Africa, the judge even asked him to come back to India and start citing Supreme Court judgments. And as you rightly said, there were several key observations from the Supreme Court which said that, which harped on India's secularism, saying that in India there is a unity in diversity, and harped on secularism. So all these several similar arguments, and at the same time, the petitioner argued that several high courts have agreed to the right of a woman to choose a particular religion as per the religious injunction, and that was part of Article 25, that is right to freedom of religion. They also argued that just barring students from classes just because they have worn hijab, that also amounts to not only violation of right to religion but also right to education. So these were the arguments which went on today, and the matter will once again continue tomorrow at 11:30. So there were several observations, and at one juncture when Devdutt Kamath insisted that the hijab was a fundamental right of a Muslim woman, and also students cannot be debarred from in fact classes or just because they are wearing hijab. When Devdutt Kamath insisted, harped on the right to dress, the Justice Hemant Gupta also went to say that if you insist on right to dress so much, you may also say that one has a right to undress. So at this juncture, Devdutt Kamath even went on to ask, in fact, nobody will be willing to undress in a school. So several heated exchanges happened in the Supreme Court during the hearing of the hijab matter. Remember, Supreme Court is hearing 24 petitions filed by various student organizations, students who have challenged the March 15th judgment of the Karnataka High Court, which had upheld the ban on wearing of hijab in education institutions. The High Court had concluded that wearing of hijab is not an integral part of Islam, not an essential religious practice, and very significantly said that a particular education institution can impose a uniform in the interest of enforcing decorum, equality, decency, and uniformity. And once collective rights of institution comes, that supersedes, that gets precedence more than a student's right to freedom of religion, because the Supreme Court has today during the hearing emphasized that no right is absolute. Even right to religion is subject to reasonable restrictions, so it is not absolute. Therefore, in fact, an educational institution insists on uniform, that is only to enforce a sense of decorum, discipline, equality, and uniformity in the institution. So, prima facie, going by the tone and tenor of the hearing today, going by the observation, Supreme Court also prima facie agreed with the High Court's view that if educational institutions do have a right to have a decency, decorum, uniformity, and equality and discipline in its premises, so such educational institutions have every right to impose a uniform. Back to you.
All right, Harish, thank you so much for that explainer and an extensive reach there. Thank you for joining us.